Now, since the server will be sending HTML responses, we will quickly take a look at what is HTML. So HTML is Hypertext Markup Language, and this language is used to create hypertext documents, that is web pages, on the World Wide Web. So HTML basically describes the semantics of a document, such as the layout of our web page or the size of fonts and everything. So we will be designing very simple HTML files without using any formatting. So it is okay if you do not know CSS. Now, this is the basic structure of an HTML file. So these HTML tags, this is the start of HTML file and this is the end of HTML file. So when the browser will notice these HTML tags, it will know that this file is an HTML file. Next is the head tag. So this head tag is inside the HTML tag and it contains the title. So we can pass the title here, and then inside the HTML we also have the body tag. So the visible elements that we place on our web page will go inside the body tag, that is here. Now form tag is a very important tag because we will be dealing with server side applications and we might need to post some data to the server. So in such a case, we can use the form tag. So form tag is just used to create a form which is used for user input. So it begins with the form tag and ends with the form tag. Now forms cannot be nested, but we can define multiple forms inside the same HTML document. So these are some attributes of the form tag. There are many more, but we will be mostly using these three. So the first is name. So here we can give the name of that form. So in case we have multiple forms in our HTML document, then we can identify the form using this form name. Next is the method which is used. So this method will be used when this form is submitted. So each form will contain some elements, and whenever that form is submitted, the elements or the user whatever the user is interacting with, like text boxes, check boxes, radio buttons, the value of all these elements will be submitted. So, how will these be submitted? That will depend on the method which is used here. So, if the method here is get, then the values will be submitted in a get request. That is, the values will be appended in the URL and then sent to the server. And if it is a post request, then the values will be appended in the header, in the body of the content of the request, and then it will be passed on to the server. Next is action. So action will be the URL where we want to send our data. So this can be any file. In our case, because we will be studying servlets now, so mostly we will be passing our data from some user form to a servlet which is on the server. So here we'll write the servlet name. Next, to take input from the user, we will be using the input tag. So this input tag has some attributes. So type is one of them. So depending on what you give as type, you can have text boxes, check boxes, radio buttons, password text boxes, submit buttons. And also they have this common attribute which is name, so that you can identify the input, whatever input element we have. Then we have many other attributes like alignment. So one important element to remember is the submit button. So if the form that we have created does not contain a submit button, then the form cannot be submitted. So essentially we must place a submit button in a form so that On click of the submit button, all form data should be wrapped in some request, and then it should be sent to the server. So it is mandatory to have a submit button. For running servlets, we will be creating a web application. To create a web application in NetBeans, you will select new project, and in the categories you will select Java Web. On selecting Java Web, these are the options that will be available. So select web application in the projects. So it will just create an empty application, web application for you. On clicking next, it will ask for the project name. So just enter the project name, and this is the project location where the web application files will be stored. On click of next, it will ask for the server on which this application should be deployed. So it can be any application server, Glassfish, Apache Tomcat, so whichever you have. Then select the Java Enterprise Edition version, and it will also display the context path, which is just the project name. So we'll see where we will be using the context path later. On click of next, we do not have to select any frameworks here because we are not using any of these frameworks right now. And when you click on finish, so on click of finish, an index file will be created. It is an HTML file. So this is the file that will be created. Now we'll quickly see the structure of this project. So this is the project web application 1, and it contains these folders: web pages, source packages, libraries, and configuration files. So the configuration files will have the manifest file. The libraries will have the JDK libraries and the application server library. So in our case, it is Glassfish server library here. In the source packages, so all the Java files that we have written in our web application, those will be stored in the source packages. So currently there are none. And all the web pages, so any JSP file or HTML file that we have in our web application, all of them will be stored here in the web pages folder. So here we can see that the web pages contains an HTML file which is named index. So this index file is the starting page of the web application, and whenever this application is started, this index file will be automatically run. So we can modify this behavior. We can make some other file to begin with when the web application is started. So we can change that. Now we have modified the HTML file, the index.html, to match the HTML structure that we had just seen. And in the title, we are writing "this is title." And in the body, we are writing some header 1 tags and a paragraph tag. Now to run this application, you will first build it or clean and build it, and then run it. So on running the application, the Glassfish server or the application server will first be started, and once the server is running, the web application will be deployed. So now the web application has been deployed on the server, application server, and after the web application has been deployed successfully, this URL, which is given here, HTTP localhost, suggests that this resource is present on the local machine itself. So because our server and the client is the same machine, 80 is the port number, and this is the application context. So now the browsing has begun. So this output can be viewed in the browser. As can be seen here, this is the output of running the web application 1. So this is the URL, which is http localhost 8080 web application 1, and this is the output. So this is the index.html file that we have just written. So this part is called this is the head part. So, and inside the head we had written this as the title, so that's why we can see the title here. And then this is start of the body tag, and this is end of the body tag, and then we had written a paragraph in between the body h1 tags.